Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Today, I thought it would just be fun to record a video looking back. I took notes on every interview that I did this cycle. I did 13 interviews, so just to look in back and see what my reflections were, pros and cons that I had, and I will also throw in some reaction videos from when I got acceptances, things like that. So let's do it. All right, so we're just gonna go in the order that they are on my iPad right here. It was Albert Einstein, the one school that I interviewed at and didn't get accepted to. I actually got waitlisted there, but withdrew my waitlist, didn't wait till hear back because I had some other amazing options. So my pros were their Spanish program. It seemed like they had a really good Spanish program because their Spanish electives included practice with standardized patients who spoke Spanish. I felt like there were a lot of students from Ivy Leagues that were interviewing. I just felt major imposter syndrome. I went to Clemson University for undergrad, amazing program. So glad I went there. Literally was my dream school. And also love football. So it was nice to win a national championship my freshman year as a student, but I did feel a lot of imposter syndrome. When I was interviewing, just feeling like I heard everybody was from Ivy Leagues and other schools that I thought were super cool, and so I felt like I just didn't know. That it really stressed me out. It seemed like they cared about their community. They focused on cultural humility in HC. Maybe that means healthcare. I don't know. Clearly I can't read my own handwriting. Big apartments, lots of housing, $500 to $600 per person per month, which is super cheap for New York. They had a parking garage, expensive but available, so I would be able to bring my car. They had a diversity lounge, which when I went to go visit Northwestern, I got to hang out in their lounge or space for diversity and inclusion, and that was a very safe space. And they did have a big focus on wellness and mental health. And then their cons, the location, that's all I'm gonna say about that. Large class size, 180 people. I just felt like that was really a lot for me. I definitely want to keep it under 150, just so that way I could really build nice relationships with all of my classmates. Their schedule changes weekly. I don't even remember what that is about, but yeah, they just said that their schedule varies every week, and that was scary. But I guess now realizing that I'm going to medical school, that's kind of how it is everywhere, because you're always learning different things. You're always getting new professors. They had issues with their housing, I was told, and it was in kind of a food desert from what I was told. Let's see. I remember this interview very vividly. I thought the interview was good, even though it was only 10 minutes. Literally the interviewer left. They were working and had to go see a patient, which makes total sense. The doctor was super nice, said I would be an asset to the school and should really consider it. And then I got waitlisted. Peace. Let's go to Baylor. The one reason that I spent $300. So $200, the base fee to apply to TMDSAS, even though Baylor is the only school that I applied to via TMDSAS, because they just switched the year that I applied, the 2022 application cycle, and then $100 for their secondary application. So that was super fun. Let's see. Pros, very collaborative. This was also my first interview, so my pros and cons list wasn't as in depth as it was for other ones that I interviewed at later, and I really was able to compare and figure out what was actually good and bad about a school, and what I actually liked and didn't like. The Texas Medical Center, literally the largest medical center I think in the country. Insane that I'd be able to practice there. They had a lot of pathways that students could do that would just give you more in-depth focus in certain areas. Huge Spanish population. It's in Houston, so food 1 hour from the beach. Texas medical schools are generally cheaper, even for out-of-state people. I think it was about the same as if I would have stayed in-state. So price, really great public transportation, and private hospital for rotations. Cons, low out-of-state population. I felt like I was just going to be around a lot of Texas people, and I kind of wanted to be more around a mix of different people. The weather, like, it's very humid. I'm already from South Carolina, so hot, very far. And they do their MD and PH with a different medical school, so I didn't really know, like, how that would work out in terms of, like, scheduling and things like that, which, like, of course, it's fine because that multiple people do all the time, but that was on my pro cons list. And reflection. I said the student interview was great. I talked about cooking and Netflix. This was my first interview. So my first interview was with a student, and it was, like, so chill. It was amazing. Faculty interview was less conversational, but still good. The students and staff seemed very friendly. They're working on increasing diversity in their classes. And I could hear back on October 15th, but I think I heard back, like, a lot later. Anyways. Emory, also an amazing school. Let's see what happened there. So I decided not to go visit Emory for an official visit because, like, being from South Carolina, I lived 2 hours away from Atlanta, and so I was, like, familiar with the area and things like that. Yeah, I didn't get my financial aid package from them in a timely manner, so that's what happened there. Okay, pros. Close to the CDC, like, interested in public health. Literally, that would be amazing. Amazing public health opportunities, great Spanish opportunities. I'm trying to see if I have any notes on their Spanish program, but I don't know. I don't have anything there. Early clinical experience. Their class size, I put that as a pro, 140 students. But that was, like, on the larger side from the school, out of the schools I applied to. So, like, thinking back, probably a con. Very diverse. 38 Black students in the current M1 class when I was applying. So, like, that's insane. It's kind of sad that I'm saying that that's insane. But, like, if you look at other medical schools, I don't want to drive a medical school. So my cons, I would definitely need a car to drive. I just felt like I really wasn't vibing with, like, the other students that were interviewing. And I didn't want to have to drive to my rotations. So, yeah, that would not have been fun. All right, Johns Hopkins. Let's dive right into my pros and cons list there. Let's see what happened with Johns Hopkins. I applied to Johns Hopkins, got accepted, went to virtual revisit. They were like in my probably, like, top 5. So, but ultimately not the right school for me. Pros, close to other cities to explore. That would be super fun. Like, being in Baltimore, you could easily get to, like, New York City and things like that. I love that they start with a health disparities course. Like, they make sure that is, like, at the forefront of every medical education. Super cool. I love that it is near the water, like going to Clemson, which is right on the lake. I just kind of loved having that, and that's something that resonated with me when I visited NYU and also when I visited Northwestern. Just having those water views are amazing. And I felt like the vibe that I got from the Black community was very strong knit there. Cons, like, and these are nitpicky things, so, like, literally none of these are like, oh, this is bad about the school. This is just, like, my experience. The student Q&A started late. I'm, like, such an on-time person, so I was, like, automatically, ugh. Once again, lots of Ivy students, of course. Something about, like, lectures were required, but they were still recorded. And they didn't have any rotations with the VA hospital, which, like, coming from a family that has had individuals that have served, I really want to rotate with the VA. And you do your scholarly concentration during summer 1. I don't know why I put that as a con because, like, I'm probably going to end up doing research during my first summer anyways, but whatever. All right, let's see what I had to say. I literally put, not sure what just happened. Student interview was normal. Faculty interview was wild. I think it went good, question mark. I really enjoyed the intellectual curiosity and felt like maybe I could find my people here. It was kind of weird, but it felt right. Of course, can't go into all the details, but, like, it was literally wild. Yeah, we talked about, like, a lot of stuff, and I literally had to call one of my friends and, like, just debrief and de-stress and like, whatever it's called, decompose. What is it? I can't think of the word. All right, Medical University of South Carolina, also known as MUSC, one of the schools in South Carolina. Pros, close to home. It's, like, 2 hours away from home. Global health programs. I don't know, I think this is supposed to be under the cons. No MD, MPH. Yes, that's supposed to be a con, I'm sure. Who knows? Access to wellness center, provides personal workout and food plan. Oh my God, how did I pass that up? That would have been so cool. Food scene in Charleston, and also like the beach. So once again, just like being near the water. The cons, lots of one-way streets. Like if I'm gonna be in a city, I want to be in a city where there's public transportation. I don't have to drive. The class size is pretty large. Limited Spanish opportunities. Limited parking. A lot of people have to live downtown, and the housing is not great in downtown. I thought it was really cool. They actually have a very unique program where like I could do 2 years in Charleston, then 2 years like in Anderson, focused on like primary care, family medicine. So I did consider that. All right, Northwestern. This was definitely like one of my top schools, like definitely in consideration all the way up until the last day. So pros, purple is their color. Purple is my favorite color, so I was like automatic pro. Oh my God, like being in Chicago, I thought the city views were beautiful. They pay for you to go abroad. It seemed like they have so much support for minority students, and I also felt like that was evident. Like I organized a solo trip to go visit, and everybody was super sweet. They have a big family/community vibe, good campus feel, great public transportation. Cons, some kind of like digital portfolio thing that you have to go in and do, and basically like every time you have to have like your portfolio filled out before you graduate, and I'm sure every school has like something similar. And then I felt like there were like more limited Spanish opportunities from what I learned compared to other schools. Okay, in my reflection, I put, please accept me. So that was a really, definitely like was, I think, one of my top choices after interview day. Let's see. Yeah, I really just made notes that all of the other students seemed really great, very personable, and that all of my interviews were really, really good. All right, USC Columbia, or University of South Carolina School of Medicine, Columbia, another one of the schools in my state. Pros, ultrasound tech program. I thought that was super cool. I was able to go visit them while I was still an undergrad for like totally separate before I even applied, and they let us practice with the ultrasound and everything, and like insane. I love that they incorporate that into the curriculum. They do have a program where you can do your rotations in my hometown, so I don't love the city itself of Columbia, but it'd be nice like knowing that I could come home and like mooch off my parents. Class size also large, and I like that you do have the access to the main campus for activities and things like that. The cons, they had just recently changed to system-based, so like maybe some kinks there. I say that as a con, and like now I'm going to a school where I'm gonna have a totally new curriculum. So not pass fail, that was like the major con, because I just don't want to go to a school that has like an ABC. I feel like it causes a lot of, competition, and location, just not like a big fan. All right, Wash U. It was probably also like top 5 or 6. Let's see what the pros. Their class size, I don't remember off the top of my head. I'll put it here. Spanish opportunities, food trucks, like literally, it's the little things, guys. It's the little things. I thought that food trucks on campus every day was super cool. Free Metro Pass. I put new curriculum as their pro, which I will just say after visiting, I'm just not so sure if that would still be in the pros section. 3 week-long clinical rotations in phase 1, which when I visited, I thought that was also really, really cool. And they had like nap pods in their campus, which is like also amazing, fancy. I put location -dangerous ? And I say that as I'm now moving to New York City. It's a big city, so like with every city, you just have to like prepare yourself, but that's what I had heard and seen. You have pre-class tests and lectures and a very short summer. It's like 18 days. So reflection, I put great. Both interviews were wonderful, and I got really great insight about the diversity initiative. So awesome. All right, Vanderbilt also was like my one of my top 5 or top 6 schools. I feel like I'm gonna go back and watch this and I'm gonna say that every school is in my top 5 or top 6. But I didn't hear back from Vandy until like the end of February. I was actually visiting NYU when I heard back from them. But you know, is what it is. Pros, 13-month preclinical, and now I'm going to a school that actually is going to have a 1-year preclinical, so super excited about that. I think it just gives me more opportunities to kind of explore and then do some sub-Is and, you know, more electives in the specialty I want to pursue. Big foodie location of Nashville, big Hispanic population from what I've heard, so really great opportunities to work and improve my Spanish. Good class size, 96 students. Got like a good family vibe from there. They had a big focus on hands-on learning. Their core clerkships are pass-fail. There's only like a handful of schools I know that do core clerkships pass-fail, so you know it's becoming more and more common for your preclinical years to be pass-fail, but not core clerkships. Those are still like honors, high pass, pass-fail. Global health and health equity certificate option. Cons, I would say, were weekly quizzes, which I now realize, like after talking to students, can be helpful because it like forces you to kind of stay up to date on the information. I put that having a car would be convenient because I don't want to, once again, didn't want to have to drive. Somebody said that they do like a big focus on histology, which I do not like histology at all. So I just was not going to be excited about that. And their exams are super, super long, which I don't know how the exams are at every school, but like, yeah, that's what they told me. Let's see what I put for the reflection. I felt like the family vibe I got there, you know, like my undergrad, Clemson family is like our motto. Everybody is always talking about the Clemson family. Like once you come to Clemson, you're a part of that family forever. So I felt like what they were saying like definitely gave me that Clemson family vibe. So it'd be like the Vandy family or something like that. Maybe y'all should coin that and give me creds. But yeah, and then also one of my interviewers was involved in an organization that was like really near and dear to my heart that I've been involved in for forever. So I felt like we really got like a good vibe. Thank you. All right, we are down to the wire. We got 3 more schools. So UVA literally added this to my list after I'd already submitted my AMCAS application, but pros, and the number one reason why I added it, location, it gave me like college town feel, kind of once again like Clemson, which I then realized after like being accepted and like looking at other schools, like I really wanted to go to a city. I didn't want to go to like another college town. So that's really what took this off of my list. But there are other pros, emphasis on wellness, curriculum based on patient stories. I think they explained it something like, you know, they have a lot of active learning. So like you read like a case and like a real patient story, and then you kind of learn the science based off that. So paid summer research, which I also know that there are a lot of like paid summer research opportunities. 1.5 year preclinical, they are at a level 3 trauma hospital, and they have a community service requirement. Really passionate about like getting involved in the community that I will eventually work in, just getting involved more like an informal basis in serving. And so I thought that was nice that they required that. Cons, public schools, so they do have 50% Virginia residents. Kind of like Baylor, I really wanted to like be somewhere where I would get to meet other people. You don't get a parking pass in preclinical, which that also means that I had to take my car, so, and very team-based, and I didn't know, like 80% of it is like team-based active learning, so 80% is mandatory, and I didn't really know if that was good or bad. USC School of Medicine, Greenville, another one of the schools in my state. So this was probably like top 10, maybe like top 8, 7, 6, who knows. All right, so pros. Systems based, commitment to diversity, equity, inclusion, which like I don't even know what that means because everybody says that. But it was on my pros list. Lifestyle medicine curriculum, they have really unique, like you start by getting your EMT certification. They have a really big focus on like nutrition, lifestyle medicine, super awesome. Elective start in M3. I don't know if that's like unique. I don't know why that's over there. The first 2 years are pass fail. Also, that's like a general like what I want in every school. But I think like compared to some other schools, You can become a certified bilingual provider. They help provide resources and support for that, which is something I'm really interested in doing with Spanish. And they have like a colleges system, so super fun, Hogwarts vibes. Cons, 2-year preclinical. Location, because it's in South Carolina, like I think Greenville would definitely be like the #1 location. I would stay in South Carolina. And I put a con, like I'd probably have a lot of students from my undergrad, which is like totally fine. They're all great, but once again, I just wanted to like branch out and like do a little bit more. I know that this was like a really good interview day. I felt like it was very conversational, very intimate. Like it really gave me good vibes. This could be my like community, family in the future. I felt like they just like wanted to like get to know me, and I thought it was really cool. All right, we have saved the best for last. NYU, my future school, literally amazing. I'm obsessed with it. So yeah, let's dive into NYU. I had a lot of pros. 3 months step time. The curriculum is changing, so I'm not sure what that'll look like, but that was what previous students had said from their experience. Language immersion and research in Spain. Now that I have access to like some stuff, I know that I think they were planning like Ecuador this past year, but lots of different opportunities. Very robust Spanish program. They have a couple of weeks of like formal education in Spanish, and then you get to interact with Spanish speaking standardized patients. Exams every 2 weeks, which kind of gives you a lot of like free weekends. And once again, I realized that like having exams closer together, from what I've heard, I think might be better, just because it like keeps me on my toes. No commute, even in clinicals, because everything is like a 10-minute walking distance, which is super nice. And of course, like New York City, I wouldn't have to take my car, and I couldn't have my car. I guess I can, but like technically no, because I can't afford it. So I thought that was a pro, that like I can't take my car. Cons, only 1 year pass fail because of the 1 year preclinical curriculum, but yeah, I don't really know. I don't really think that really matters. I put a con, many changes to the curriculum coming up. I didn't really know what the effects would be like. So they were going from like 18 months to 12 months preclinical. I still don't know because I haven't started yet, but I was really nervous about like being the guinea pig for a new curriculum, but now I'm excited, and you know, we'll see what happens. And also just like small because it's New York. All right, like housing wise. Reflection. All of the other students that I got to interact with seemed like super chill. This was my first MMI interview, so like personally, I did not have high hopes. Like I felt really good about NYU going into it. Like I was like, I'm excited about this school, got a really good, like a lot of pros. But then after the interview, I was like, I don't know how this went. So I kind of just like didn't want to get my hopes up. So like I just had no idea how to feel after the MMI interview. But I did feel like Dean Rivera, who's like the Dean of Admissions, I felt like he was very candid, very personable, and just overall like really good vibes. And I could definitely fit in here. So I think that's so sweet. That is the last thing that I wrote on my reflection to NYU. And yeah, I will share, that was my first acceptance, so I'll share my reaction video next. And it's just so sweet. My dad was actually there, and so I like was literally okay, let me just tell y'all the story. So I was actually on an interview for another school. So I'd like finished the interview and we were just like wrapping up. So I like hung up because saw on my phone it said like NYU Langone or something like that. And so literally like stormed down the stairs. My dad was up for the weekend, so I like had a feeling that this was gonna be an acceptance call. And like I ran into the room and he says like, I'm accepted. And my dad is like, what is going on? And I'm like, Dad, like just shut up and listen. And so, you know, learn about, you know, my acceptance, my full scholarship. My roommate runs downstairs and she's like crying while I'm still on the phone. Super sweet moment. So yeah, it's crazy that happened, like early October last year, and went through the entire cycle and didn't commit until like April, just because I wanted to see my other options. But yeah, like I said, I could definitely fit in here. I definitely think this is going to be, it is going to be my home for the next 4 years or 3, and I'm super excited. So thank you all so much. Thank you. Have a wonderful day. Thank you. Oh my God, I'm literally freaking out. Dad,
York City. I have to call Mom. Y'all, full cost of attendance. Baby, I'm gonna be styling and profiling in a little apartment, twin XL bed and all. Like, Mom, I have the best news of your life. I got the best news of your life.
What?
I just got into NYU with a full cost of attendance scholarship. Everything covered.
$90,000.
Everything, housing, food, everything. NYU, everything covered. Everything, Mom. No debt, nothing.
Praise the Lord, praise the Lord, praise the Lord.
I'm literally in shock. I'm literally in shock.
Oh, God.
Mom, med school free.
No debt.
No debt.
Thank y'all so much for tuning in and watching. I thought this would just be super fun. Once again, if these are not overall good or bad things about the schools, these are just based on my preferences, what I liked, what I was looking for in a school, my pros cons list, and just to give you like a little bit more insight, and also mostly just for kicks and giggles. So thanks for watching. Make sure to like this video, comment on this video, subscribe to my channel for more pre-med tips and New York life.